Hopefully that's better. Zog Tehillah Gemara of Shragi. Nice to see you. I think we have to make house calls and drop food off. No, such a chaval. House show's not that big. We should make a carpool system for the food. Okay. Zog Gemara Yudalad Amud Aleph. We're actually going to take it from the very bottom of Yugimel Beis. We're not going to do a chazar all the way from the top. I hope by now the first shtickle Gemara is clear. But we'll start from the Gemara that says that according to Rav Abba, Vaday Tanoyi. We did. Just the problem is we're like mad in the smack in the middle right now. So we're not. Maybe we'll do it Sunday. We'll see where we're holding. We'd have to we're in the middle right now. We did this Gemara again and again and again. So there's no more Sundays.
I thought it's alone.
Sundays is Sundays you ever no the weekend. We'll talk about it at the end. Let's finish the Gemara. We'll talk about the end. Hopefully that over Shabbos this week is going to be easier because we're going to have a shorter shtickle as it was a harder Gemara, so it'll be easier to chazer. But let's first get there. I would like to get as close to the end of the sugya as possible. So let's get there. L'Rav Abba Vaday Tanohi. We're just going to start from there. 8 lines on the bottom. First line is Yadois. You give them a B. Says the Gemara. L'Rav Abba Vaday Tanohi. The Rav Menashe Bar Gada Milema Tanohi. L'cha Rav Menashe. No, it's not a machlokes Tanoim. Why? The Kuli Amos Havri everyone holds that if you're koitzel ischach, ein lo yadis. Hacham hayaskinan, the sesame chicken is warming up. Hacham hayaskinan, erev tov Rav Yaakov. I have another one in the car. Why don't you just take a Gemara? There's one sitting in my trunk. Why don't you just leave another one here?
I have it on from the Kinyan.
Stay there. It says the Gemara. Ein lo yadis. Hacham hayaskinan go chikatzal nachila. So what's the case of here? You cut it down to eat. And that's specifically the reason why there's a din of yadis. And after you cut it down to eat, v'nimlach aleim l'sikoch, you change your mind to use it as schach. Eat first, period. So that's the case. Now, really that ends part A of the sugya. Now we go into part B, which is, can you actually change an item based on mindset, based on maisa? Yesterday everyone was asking that, wait, maybe by putting it up as the schach, that should be called a maisa. And let's get there right now. Says the Gemara 4 lines to the bottom. Wait, if you cut it down for achila, why do the Rabbanan hold that there's no din of yadis? Maybe you'll suggest that the reason, according to the Rabbanan, there's no din of yadis, cause kasavi Rabbanan, the Rabbanan hold that kivan dinim nachalayim l'sikoch. When you change your mind, nimlach, it really comes to the word melech, to rule, your rule over your mind. Since you change your mind, it's mevatel your original thought process. Is that possible? All utensils, and we spoke about yesterday, what does it mean that it goes down to tumah? It doesn't mean it actually becomes tummy. It means it becomes susceptible when you kabel tumah. This means when you're building a table, and when you finish building the table, at what point is it considered a table that now if someone tameh touches it, it's tameh b'machshava. When you have the mindset, that's the miracle of tumah v'taira. I could be sitting here and I can say, you know what, the table that's in my garage, I'm finished building it. I'm not doing anything else to it. The mindset alone is enough to say it's mekabel tumah. That's when it becomes susceptible to tumah. But vein oilim it tumah. So once something is a kli, once something is susceptible to be mekabel tumah, how is it oile? How does it relieve that status? Ella b'shinoi ma'isa. You have to do an action, and the Mishnah that we're quoting over here says the rule: ma'isa, an action, moiti miyan ma'isa miyan machshava. If you did an action that could remove from an original action or an original thought. But machshava, a thought, einoi moiti, cannot remove lo miyan ma'isa ve'loi miyad machshava. So says the Gemara, what? And it's very good. So says the Gemara, you cannot suggest that according to the Chachamim, your mindset to now use it as Chach is mivatel, nullifies the original mindset to use it as Chach, because we see that machshava, mindset, cannot uproot from a machshava. So we're back to our question according. So what? So we're back to our question. Very good, thank you. According to the Chachamim, if you cut down these items to use it for achila, why would there be no din of yadais? Suggests the Gemara, attempt number 2. V'chi tema. Maybe you'll tell me. Hani mili kalim. The Mishnah that we just quoted, Hani mili, this is only by kalim, by utensils. That's when you can only get rid of your thought with an action. Why? Dichashivi. Because utensil is a chashiv, is an important, is a substantial item. Avol yadais. But maybe when we're handling, when the whole question is a yad, which by its very nature is an auxiliary item, is by its very nature not a critical item. So we're now discussing the straw.
Dependent on
Very good. It's dependent on? Well, Hainuach. That's one big circle.
Table not necessarily dependent on.
Oh, you mean it could be the other way? Okay, good. But Yadai says the Gemara that you cut down the schach. So even if you cut it for a food, maybe a subsequent thought could be mevatalit, because the whole din of Yadais is dilitzarech achilaninu. B'machshava naseh u'machshava salka. Maybe the same way it could go down, it could become susceptible with a machshava. So too it could be removed with a machshava. Says the Gemara, that's not possible. Again, so it's a second attempt as explained the sheet of the Chamim. The Gemara says it doesn't work. Why not? Because we learned in a Mishnah, call yadais ha'eichlin, all yadais, all handles of foods. Again, what's a handle of a food? Handle of a food is, again, we'll use the example of an apple. The stem on top of your apple, that's a handle for your apple. The handle of the apple, shivisasan. I told you, there's no way that's the right way to pronounce that word. I had this here purposely. Sheb-sa-san. Well, what that word means, we're going to see in a moment. Sheb-sa-san bigoyren. Something happened to these handles of the food, bigoyren, in the threshing floor. Tahiris. They are tahar. So now the question is, what happened to this item that made it tahar? What does it mean it made it tahar? Made it not a din of yadais. Removed its status. What happened? Says the Gemara. Everything is good according to the Mandamar that says 2 lines for the wide lines. Boss's son is what? Hitir agudan. That you untied the bundle, shop here, then it's good. Why is it good? Because if this Mishnah is teaching us that if I have a bundle of food on the threshing floor and I do a mere action of untying the bundle, and that mere action of untying the bundle is enough to do what? Say it's no longer a din of yadais. So then according to the Chachamim, it's very good. Why is it very good according to the Chachamim? Because why? Because according to the Chachamim, in our case, you have the same thing. The fact that you took this item and you put it up as chach, like both of you were saying yesterday, would be enough to remove it. Again, if you hold that, what does it mean? The boss is son. We have a Mishnah that says you have a bundle of something, you do something, and all of a sudden it becomes tahar. What's the something that you're doing to this item? If what you're doing is that you are just untying the item.
Untying means that it was in the bundle and then you made it not a bundle, or you're releasing the fruit from the branch now?
You're just untying the bundle, not releasing the fruit from the branch. Merely, Rav Nachman, you wait, and you want to bring the sesame chicken with you? I think right now it should be warm. It's on the bottom of the oven. God bless you. There's a towel next to it if you don't want to burn your fingers like I did mine. That when you're just untying the bundle, so too by us, what? If you take these items and you put it up as chaf, that would be enough to make it not a case of yadais. Very good. Which is mamish what you both said yesterday, meaning it's called a maisa. We're trying to figure out what is a maisa, what is an action on this item that would remove it from its original status. Again, you cut down wheat, why? La'achila. I thought I turned you off. You cut down wheat, why? La'achila. And now what's happening? What's happening is it's becoming not for achila. So we said that's just called machshava. Says Gemara, no, it's not just called machshava. It's called ma'isa. Why is it called ma'isa? Just like basisan, just like untying the bundle is enough, that would be enough as well. Beautiful.
You didn't touch the branch.
You put it up as chach.
You took it off of the bundle. Something was wrapped around it. You moved something up.
And even that, exactly the point. And even that is enough. It's a machlokes. What does basasan mean? If it just means that all you're doing, like you just said, your mom is doing nothing. What are you doing? You're untying a bundle. That's all you're doing. Then it's gavaldik. Then there's no kasha anymore. Because we can say, according to the Rabbanan, it's the same thing. Ella, back into the Gemara, hachanami, excuse me, shebasan mamish. So too by us, it's called basasan. The fact that you're deciding to use this item as schach, that itself is the same thing as untying a bundle. Beautiful. I skipped. Thank you. Bishlam and one more time. Bishlam Mandamar Basan Heter Agun Shab. Mandamar my Basan son Mamish. What does that mean? Basan Mamish. It means you crushed it. You didn't just untie a bundle. You crushed up this item, and that's when the Mishnah says it removes it from its status of Toma. Michael and Meimar, what are you going to say? What's the kasha? By us, what did you do? Nothing. You just cut the thing. Your original mindset was for achila. You decided to use it for schach. You didn't crush up the item. So ask the Gemara, then what's going on according to the Chachamim? A long-winded kasha, but I don't think it's so difficult. Let's speak it out one more time. The Chachamim said, we have wheat. You cut it down for food. You changed your mind to use it for schach. All of a sudden, say the Chachamim in the Brisa. By Chachamim, of course, we're referring to the Tanakama. Says the Tanakama in the Brisa, all of a sudden it's going to be okay. Frakti Gemara, why is it going to be okay? Thought should not be enough. Answers the Gemara, we have a Mishnah. A Mishnah says you did something called basasan, and that's enough. So if basasan just means untie it, okay, gavaldi, according to the Chachamim, that's what you did. Your mindset to use it as chach is going to be enough to transform it. But according to the other mandamar that says you have to actually crush it, what are you going to do? Answers the Gemara, pretty shver teretz, hachanam, you know you did in our case, a totally new case. You two last night were saying, wait, maybe you took the wheat stalk, and you put it in tzrach, and you were saying maybe that's called a ma'isa. Says, wait, no, you did? No, you crushed it. Hachanami, shebasan mamish. You crushed the wheat before you put it up as tzrach. If you crushed it, so why in the world, what is pshat in the acherim? Just to quote you the words of the acherim said that they care about the yadais. Why do they care about the yadais? You crushed it.
There's no more food.
That's exactly the kasha. So according to the acherim, they say you have to worry about the yad. You have to say again the acherim whether you have this talk. This was the acherim, and you have to worry about the yad. Why do you have to worry about the yad? You crushed the whole thing. It's a new entity. So what's a sheikhs to yadais?
It's not like they just crushed the kernel.
No. Right now the Gemara is assuming you just crushed the ganze Zach. Boss's son. You crushed it. Oh, and for the Gemara. He holds like Rav Yosi. Ditinan, as we learned in a Mishnah, Rav Yosi mitame. Rav Yosi argues on the Chachamim. So it's very good that the Chachamim hold good, but Rav Yosi argues.
But what's his rationale?
We don't know. Good kasha, but we don't know yet. It's going to come back in a moment. So the Chachamim, Achirim hold like Rav Yosi. So at this point, everything is very good. Chayrim hold like Rav Yosi, Tanakam hold like the Chachamim. What's pshat over here? That you crushed up the item, and that's why there's no din of yadis. And as you all can realize, this is a Gemara that you only can understand if you actually got the whole picture over here, which I hope is slightly clear. And with one or two more chazaras over Shabbos, Siyata Dishmaya, it'll be perfectly clear. Let's go one job further, just because it's Thursday, even though this is hard. Says the Gemara, Hi Mai, what's going on over here? Bishlama Hasam. over there in that Mishnah when it said you have this food on the threshing floor, which was Basisan, the Chachamim say it's Tarvis, says it's Tamei, Bishlama Hasam, Taima de Rav Yosi. According to Rav Yosi, why is it still Tamei after you crush the item? Is because Chazye de Rav Shimon ben Lakish is because even the item that's crushed is not called a new mice. It's not called transforming the item. Why not? Because it still retains some of its original usage, like Reish Lakish, which is what? Oh, my Rav Shimon ben Lakish. Hoyel uru'uyos lahavchon bi'itar. It's still roi to flip it over with a pitchfork. You have wheat, bundles of wheat on the floor of your threshing floor. And what did you do to that bundle of wheat? You crushed it up. So why is there still a din of yadais? Says Rish Lakish, you know why? Because the wheat part still is good to you. Why is the wheat part still good? Because what you do is you take your pitchfork and you stick it in and you throw it up, and that's how you separate the chaff from the kernel and the whatnot. So even though you crushed it up, there's still some usage to the stalk part. So that's why in that Mishnah, Rav Yossi held it's Tameh. However, what's the $1 million kasha for your sukkah? Elohacha lemai chazye. If you crush up your schach and you put it on your sukkah, what usage does the different parts of your schach have right now? What do you got floating in your sukkah? You got some crushed up schach. Says the Gemara. So I could have thought that also. The Gemara doesn't say that. Interesting. I thought the same thing. Says when you demolish your sukkah, when you take it down, liminkat luhu bigilayu, you'll be able to pull it down by the straw part. So even though it's all crushed up, but those straw ends still have some usage that you could pull it down from there, the schach. And that's why, according to the Acherim, according to Rabbi Yosi, it's not considered crushed and a new item, because the original usage of the straw is still there. That's the end of the Gemara.
You don't want the food part.
For what? No, you're correct. But now that it's crushed, the Gemara wants to know, in the crushed form, what usage does it have? Answers the Gemara, meaning, because what we're trying to say is, in the din of Yadais, if the original usage is no longer here, which is what you're saying, and now, so then it should revert back. And then it should not have a din of Yadais. The Acheir Molda does have a din of Yadais. What's the reason? Because it has a sidebar usage like the beginning. However, we must, Emir Hashem, tomorrow or tonight, Rabbi Avi will be in touch with me, and I will send out a chazara from the beginning, V'amar Rav Abba, till here. This really is one beautiful shekel. I think, sure, the end over here is a little bit foggy because it was difficult, but hopefully it's getting there. And I actually spoke to someone over Shabbos, and we both agree this is possibly, and I'm not just saying this, I think this is the hardest Amud of Sukkah. You learned Sukkah, no? You concur? I think this is the hardest Amud of Sukkah, but the plan is, it's today Thursday. We're not meeting till Monday because there's no Sundays. So the plan is on the chat.
All getting tested on Monday.
No. We don't have to test. But everyone should chazer at least 2 times between now and Monday. There you go. On Sunday night, instead of no shir, chazer. We should chazer at least 2 times, again, from V'amar of Abba until over here. It's about an amen of Gemara. Let's chazer it 2 times well. And then, B'siyata D'Shmaya, on Monday, we're going to pick up again from Gufa. We have one more little hard Gemara, and then from there, it gets back to being a little bit of easier Gemara. Shkaya Chevra, B'siyata D'Shmaya, Nacha week, next week.